You know what I realized? Self-love isn't something you just magically arrive at. It's something that you practice over and over, no matter what season you're in. And for real, I used to think that I could only love myself when I looked a certain way, or when I weighed a certain number, or just when my life felt like it was perfectly together, right? But that's not love, that's conditions. And real love doesn't come with conditions. So today I want to talk about what it really looks like to love yourself in every season, when it's easy and especially when it's not. Welcome back to Simply Becoming, where we talk love, lessons, and laughter. My hope is that every time you press play, you walk away a little lighter, a little more encouraged, and maybe even smiling a little bit. First, I just want to thank y'all. I thank y'all so much for all the love and the feedback from episode 1. I was just a little bit nervous, just a little bit, when I, put this out there. But the way I received it confirmed that this space is needed. We can be our own worst critics, right? And hearing y'all words and all y'all encouragement, it really shifted me. And it reminded me that I don't always see myself clearly. And having that kind of support really changes how you see your own journey, right? Again, thank you so much. Now, real quick, let me tell y'all what I've been on lately. Hey there, lovely. So here's the deal. I'm tall, and I know the struggle of finding clothes that truly fit our fabulous height and proportions. That's why I try on tall girl-friendly fashion pieces, so you don't have to guess. I'm all about keeping it real and honest in my reviews. If it works for my height, you'll know. If it doesn't, you'll know that too. So come on over to my page and check out my latest tall girl approved finds, including the dress I made, some tall girl-friendly sweatpants that are perfect for the season, and a cozy 2-piece sweater set I just got. I'll drop the link for you in the episode description so you can check it out later. Let's find your perfect fit together. All right, let's get into today's episode. So today's episode is just so close to my heart because I've lived through so many different seasons, right? The hard ones, the confusing ones, and even the uncomfortable ones. There was a time when I would look in the mirror and I would tell myself, I'd only be happy once I get my stomach flat, or I'd only be happy once I move into a new house or I get a new car. But that's not how it worked, right? My joy didn't just magically appear once I looked a certain way or once I moved and got a new house. Have you ever told yourself something like that? Like, I'll only be happy when. For the longest time, I was my own worst critic. I look in the mirror and the first thing I do was point out something that I didn't like. Or I make a mistake and I instantly think, see, you always mess up. I didn't even realize how heavy that was walking around with my own words tearing me down. One day I caught myself mid-thought and I was like, wait a minute. Why am I talking to myself like this? In a way that I would never talk to my daughters. I would never speak to my husband like that. Never to any of my friends like that. And that's when I realized self-love isn't just how I treat my body, right? It's also how I talk to myself. I started small, just saying one small kind thing to myself out loud every day. And yeah, it was kind of awkward at first, but I kept doing it and slowly it started to shift. And I really wish I had learned that sooner, that the way I speak to myself, it sets the tone for how I move throughout my day, right? If I'm tearing myself down, I carry that. But if I build myself up, even in the smallest ways, I carry that too. I realized that if I can't love myself on the way there, I won't just love myself once I arrive, right? And that's something I've had to remind myself again and again. Joy ain't just hiding in the future, right? It's something that we practice now, right in the middle of all the mess, right? And maybe you told yourself the same thing. I'll be happy once I graduate, or I'll be happy once I get that job, or once I meet the right person. But let me tell you, for me, it wasn't just about my body, right? It showed up in other areas too. Thinking I only feel good when I got the job or when the bills were a little bit lighter. But joy don't wait for none of that, okay? If you're not practicing it now, you won't suddenly know how when you actually get there. That is why it is so important to just stop, okay? Stop and find those little moments of joy right where you are in the moment, you know? I mentioned this in episode 1 that there were days that I didn't know who I was outside of being like somebody's mom or somebody's wife, right? And one time somebody asked me, aside from all the titles you wear, who are you? I struggled to answer that. And that's because I had realized I had tied my identity so tightly to what I did for everybody else, and I had forgot about me. Think about that for yourself for a second. If somebody asked you that today, what would your answer be? And I know I'm not the only one who's felt that way. So many of us, especially moms and wives and the caretakers, we forget who we are outside of the roles we carry, right? Loving myself in that season looked like the smallest things. Reminding myself that I was still me. I'm still Shon, not just those roles I carry. That question sat with me for the longest time. And maybe it's sitting with you too. And that's okay, okay? Because becoming starts with us asking ourselves the hard questions, right? Even the ones with the answers that don't come right away. So one of the ways that I've been practicing self-love now is by giving myself permission to pause. To just unplug, right? Even something as simple as sitting in silence for 10 minutes without doing for everyone else. At first it was super uncomfortable. I just felt like I should be doing something. You know, sweeping the floor, doing a load of laundry, prepping dinner. I should be doing something, right? But now, that time is like my reset button. Those moments, they remind me that I'm worthy of my own time. I'm worthy of my own love, no matter what season I'm in, right? What I've learned is this. Joy doesn't live in the one day, right? It's available now. I am so much more than my titles. You are so much more than your titles. Love while you're changing, not just after. Every season teaches you something new. The hard seasons, they have taught me resilience. The stressful seasons, they taught me patience. And the joyful seasons, they reminded me that love can be simple too. And the last thing is that the words that I speak to myself, they matter. Here's one of my favorite reminders. Self-love is a daily devotion, not a final destination. I want to share this self-love toolbox with y'all. It's just like practical things that have really helped me. Write yourself a kind little note, okay? Grab you, like for real, go get you a sticky note, grab your phone, type it out, whatever you most comfortable with. Write out something you wish somebody else would say to you. Like, I'm so proud of you, or you're an amazing blank, you know. Write it down, put it somewhere you'll see it all the time. Because when those words come from you, they hit so different. Celebrate a small win. Even if it's something like finishing the laundry or showing up for your workout or just drinking enough water for the day. Listen, you did that, okay? And nobody can take that from you. It might feel small, but sometimes it's those small things that stack up and remind you, I can show up for myself. Rest without guilt. And I know this one is going to be so hard for some of y'all. But sometimes the most loving thing that you can do is take a break. Sit down, close your eyes, and breathe. Rest don't mean that you lazy. It means that you respect your body and your mind enough to recharge. Go lay down, okay? Speak one kind thing out loud about yourself. Not just thinking it and not just writing it, okay? Saying it. We know that there's power in the tongue, right? There's also power in hearing your own voice affirm you. It could be as simple as I'm strong or I'm patient, I am enough. And it might feel awkward at first, and that's okay. I promise you it gets easier the more you practice it. So if you aren't able to do all of these, at least pick one of them to try to do throughout the week. And give yourself some grace. Self-love is not about perfection. It's about patience. It's reminding yourself that you're still growing. And that deserves some kind of kindness, right? Maybe you are waiting for the weight loss or for the job or for your kids to be grown. Who knows? I'm going to tell you, I've been there too, okay? Just waiting on that moment when everything is just going to feel right. But this is what I've learned. If we don't learn to love ourselves in the middle of the mess, we won't magically know how to when we get there. Self-love is a daily devotion. It's not something you earn once you've reached your goals. It's something you practice now. And you deserve that love today. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on Simply Becoming. If this message spoke to you any kind of way, please share it with a friend. Leave a review and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss the next conversation. Until next time, remember to love yourself right where you are in every season and keep becoming.